Jain everyone, my name is Dr. Neetu Sharma, Assistant Professor from Applied Sciences and Humanities. Subject name Technical Communication and subject code BS301. Today the topic which we are going to cover today is 7 C's of Communication, and this is the topic from Unit 1, Fundamentals of Communication and Voice Dynamics. So let's understand what are 7 C's of communication. These are 7 C's: completeness, conciseness, consideration, concreteness, clarity, courtesy, and correctness. So if you understand that why obviously these are called 7 C's, because all the words that start with this initial letter C, so that's why they are called 7 C's of communication. So these are 7 principles of effective communication, and if you follow them, then you will be able to draft such a message which will be easily comprehensible and understandable for the reader, or you can say for the listener as well. So 7 C's stand for 7 essential principles of communication starting with the letter C, and each one represents a requirement that message should meet to be effective. So for making these principles clear to all of you, I have taken all the examples, like you are sending an email at a professional place. So I have taken the examples of lots of emails in my this video lecture. So first principle which I am going to explain to you today is the completeness. So if we talk about completeness means that you should provide, or you should try to provide, all information to the reader, or you can say receiver, right? So in the sense that you should try to give him answer of all the questions, like of all the W's and one H. What are the W's? Where, what, when, why, and obviously one H is how, and one W is one more, that is who. So if you are able to answer all these questions in your message, it means that your message is complete. You are giving the required information, and obviously you will be able to get the desired response from the reader or from the receiver which you want. So please check. It means like if you draft a message, suppose if you are drafting even a simple notice for attending a meeting, then you should check your notice that whether you have provided all the details, like why you are actually organizing that meeting, where, whatever is the venue, when, what obviously the time, what we are going to discuss, who are the members that are going to attend the meeting, and how long that meeting would take place. So obviously if you answer all these questions in your notice, then the notice will be complete, otherwise it will be incomplete. So it means that you should provide all the information, and obviously when you take care of the completeness, this principle in your message, that means that it's obviously it saves your time. It is very economical, because then you need not to spend any additional amount or any additional expenditure for drafting another message to provide extra information to the receiver or reader. So completeness so you should ensure that whatever the response you desires from the receiver or from the reader, you are giving him all the information. So when the information is complete, then obviously it gives you, it enhances the goodwill of the sender as well. So completeness is important. So please, if being complete means that you being able to answer the following questions, what I am telling you right now in yes. So please make sure that you have given all the information. So ask yourself, have you given all the facts and figures? Have you covered all the essentials? And have you answered all his or her questions of the reader? So in a complete message, the audience has everything they need to be informed, and if applicable, take action. Answers all questions that are asked. Give something extra when desirable. Check for 5 W's and 1 H: who, what, when, where, why, and how. So the communication must be complete. It should convey all facts required by the audience. The sender of the message must take into consideration the receiver's mindset and convey the message accordingly. A complete communication has following features. Complete communication develops and enhances reputation of an organization. Moreover, they are cost saving, as no crucial information is missing and no additional cost is incurred in conveying extra message if the communication is incomplete, right? If the communication is complete. A communication complete communication always gives additional information wherever required. It leaves no questions in the mind of the receiver. A complete communication helps in better decision making by the audience or readers or receiver of message, as they get all desired and crucial information. It persuades the audience, so completeness brings the desired response. So this is a bad example which I have taken for you to explain this completeness message. Hi everyone, I just wanted to send you all a reminder about the meeting we are having tomorrow. See you then, XYZ. So obviously what is missing here, you are not clear for what purpose you are going to have the meeting. So this mail is not complete for obvious reasons, that what meeting, when is it, where. XYZ has left his team without the necessary information. So this is incomplete. So now you can see the example of a complete message. Hi everyone, I just wanted to remind you about tomorrow's meeting on the new telecommuting policies. The meeting will be at 10 a.m. in the second level conference room. Please let me know if you cannot attend. See you then, XYZ. So this is a complete message now. So the second mail is complete. What meeting? When is it? Where? So XYZ inform necessary information. The next point is clarity. So how can you bring clarity? Clarity means that, please, if you want to bring clarity in your message, then please make sure that you are not giving too much information in one sentence. It means you are focusing only on one just single idea in your message in a sentence and not giving too much information at one place, right? So clarity means that it is easier, it must be easier for the decoder to understand your message. So clarity means that you do not make any assumption about the sender, that he will be able to understand what you want to say. So please make sure that you just write from the point of view of the in the sense, try to understand the understanding level, keep it in mind, and then write your message. So try to use familiar words which are easily comprehensible or which are familiar to the reader. Do not use technical words, or if you are using technical or jargon words in your message, then please explain all of the meaning to the reader that you need to keep in your mind. So being clear means being able to give the answer of the questions in your mind, like have you used familiar words, have you avoided all technical or you can say jargon words, have you drafted the message as per the reader's knowledge levels, how have you presented only one idea in one sentence. So please answer all these questions. So clarity means that try to give space between the paragraphs. Your presentation should also be very good. There should be space between the paragraphs. Your paragraphs should be left aligned and they should be properly aligned. So clarity means simplicity in organization. You should use simple and familiar words. Do not use difficult words. Like for example, if I say ascertain, ascertain is a difficult word. We can use a simple word in place of a difficult word, ascertain, like find out, right? We can use simple word. So to be clear, try to minimize the number of ideas in each sentence and make sure that it's easy for your reader to understand your meaning. So clarity implies emphasizing on a specific message or goal at a time rather than trying to achieve too much at once. Clarity in communication has following features. It makes understanding easier. Complete clarity of thoughts and ideas enhances the meaning of message. Clear message make use of exact, appropriate and concrete words. Clarity makes comprehension easier. Hi John, this is an example now of a message which doesn't have clarity. I wanted to write you a quick note about Daniel, who is working in your department. He's a great asset and I would like to talk to you more about him when you have time. Best regards. So again here, if you see this message not clear because we don't know who is Daniel. there may be there may be people who or more than one person who are having the name Daniel, right? So what is the problem here? That if there are multiple Daniels in John's department, John wouldn't know who she is talking about. So next, what is Daniel doing? Specifically, that's so great. Last, what is the purpose of this email? So there is no sense of purpose to this mail. So it's a bit confusing. So this is a good example of clarity. Now you can see, I wanted to write you a quick note about Daniel Cadder, who's working in your department. In recent weeks, he has helped the IT department through several pressing deadlines on his own time. We have got a tough upgrade project due to run over the next 3 months, and his knowledge and skills would prove invaluable. Could we please have his help with this work? I would appreciate speaking with you about this. When is it best to call you to discuss this further? Best wishes. So this is now, you can say, have clarity. So second mail is much clearer because the reader has the information he needs to take action. So purpose of email is clear. Daniel in John's department, that is all clear, and we have given the full name of Daniel. Now, what is conciseness? Conciseness means that you should try to draft your message in minimum possible words, but do not sacrifice completeness. There should be complete, complete sense, or you can say the complete message should be there, but try to use minimum words to draft your message. And how can you do that? Obviously, by avoiding, or you can say by deleting unnecessary phrases or adjectives which do not add any meaning, to complete the meaning of the sentence. So you can delete, obviously, or you can remove all those phrases, unnecessary repetition. Let me give you an example. Like, for example, if you say 2 a.m. in the morning, so we can remove in the morning because it is an unnecessary phrase. 2 a.m. is clear that we are talking about in the morning, right? Again, like for example, you can say I personally feel. So I can say I feel. So I personally feel is a wordy expression. We can write it in a concise way. I feel. Let me take one more example. Like for example, you can say for a total of 5 bundles, right? So you can say 5 bundles. So wordy expressions you can avoid. Let me give you one more examples. Mr. Sharma's sister, who is a woman, is tensed because of the fact that Mr. Sharma does not talk to her. So you can make it more concise like this, that Mr. Sharma's sister is tensed because Mr. Sharma does not talk to her. So being concise means being able to answer the questions in yes, which I am telling you right now, like have you used the required matter as per the subject of the message? Have you avoided repetition in the message? Have you said enough but required enough? And have you avoided needless repetition or needless words, right? So conciseness means get to the point. Conciseness means forming your message with minimum number of words possible without invalidating the other 6 C's. Avoid wordiness, repetition, and filler words or phrases. So conciseness means wordiness, that is communicating what you want to convey in least possible words without foregoing the other C's of communication. Conciseness is a necessity for effective communication. Concise communication has following features. It is both time saving as well as cost saving. So you need to avoid wordiness, and conciseness means brief. Okay, you need to make the message brief and in minimum possible words. So it underlines and highlights the main message as it avoids using excessive and needless words. Concise communication provides short and essential message in limited words to the audience. Concise message is more appealing and comprehensible to the audience. Conciseness saves time. So this is a bad example. You can see this is a very long message, and we have written very complex sentences and long sentences. So I wanted to touch base with you about the email marketing campaign we kind of sketched out last Thursday. I really think that our target market is definitely going to want to see the company's philanthropic efforts. What do you think? Hi, Matt. For instance, if we talk about the company's efforts to become sustainable as well as the charity work we are doing in local schools, then the people that we want to attract are going to remember our message longer. The impact will just be greater. What do you think, Jessica? So again, this message, I hope that you will not be able to understand it, or you can say you cannot. It is a bit confusing because we have used lots of long sentences, unnecessary phrases, wordy expressions, and then it will be very it has become too complex to understand. So the problem is that the email is too long, there is repetition, there's plenty of fillers taking up space. So this is a good example now. The same message has been redrafted. Hi Matt, I wanted to quickly discuss the email marketing campaign that we analyzed last Thursday. Our target market will want to know about the company's philanthropic efforts, especially our goals to become sustainable and help local schools. What do you think, Jessica? So this email is not too long. There is no repetition in this mail, and get to point of email. Now, concreteness. Concreteness means, or you can say concreteness means being particular and specific and not vague. And we do not use, general statements. So it means that when you use concreteness, this feature in your message, it becomes more, accurate, more believable and understandable. So concreteness means that you provide exact and specific figure. Like for example, if I say majority of the students are absent today, so you need to tell in exact numbers that how many students are absent today. Like if I say 40 students out of 60 are absent today, so it gives you an exact idea that how many students I am talking about. But if I say majority of the students are absent today, so it's a vague statement, so you need to be very specific. You need to give accurate figures. So you need to ask yourself that have you made the details needle sharp, or have you given the particular and relevant facts. So concreteness, specifics instead of generalizations. Communicating concretely means being specific, definite and vivid words in message rather than vague and general. Avoid also vague words and avoid words that with multiple meanings. So concrete communication implies being particular and clear rather than fuzzy and general. Concreteness strengthens the confidence. Concrete message has the following features. It is supported with specific facts and figures. It makes use of words that are clear and that build the reputation. Concrete messages are not misinterpreted. Concreteness reinforces confidence. Now, this is a bad example of concreteness. You can say Hilltop Resort is the best resort. Do come to us on your next holiday. So if I, replace this Hilltop Resort with another resort, so this become, a general statement, a common statement for all kind of resorts. So there's nothing specific, nothing different, nothing a unique idea which you are actually giving to your Hilltop Resort. So no one will get attracted towards it. But this is a good example. Now the next one. So the previous one, this is a big message. It is made to sound like just another resort advertisement among 100 others. The audience will never remember this ad message. There are no concrete details to take away from this message. But if I say that Hilltop Resort is the jewel of the Western Hills, take a break from your work, escape from life's chaos and stress, relax and rejuvenate yourself at Hilltop, go back fresh and energized. So the message gives you visualizing details. The reader can actually imagine being in a beautiful resort, breathing fresh air and swimming in a pool instead of slogging away at his or her office. This is a concrete message conveyed to the audience. Now next is consideration. So consideration means that you not only consider that what actually the reader wants or what actually the reader's emotions, you are actually also you want to understand reader's knowledge level, his or her education level, or you can say viewpoints, right? So you draft your message keeping in mind the audience viewpoints, their knowledge, their interests, their preferences, their probable reactions, their likes, dislikes, interests, desires, and obviously their problems. So it means that when you draft the message, you need to keep yourself into the shoes of the decoder and then draft the message. So have a you attitude in your mind always. So consideration ensures that the self-respect of the reader is maintained in the message as well as their feelings do not get hurt. So when you draft a message, so being considerate means being able to answer the questions like have you put your client first? Do you know his or her interest? Have you talked to him or her? So consideration means to consider the receiver's interest or intention. This mode of consideration is called you attitude. When you are truly considerate, you try to show sincere regard for his interest and benefits. See your material from your reader's point of view. So consideration implies stepping into the shoes of others. Effective communication must take the audience into consideration. That is the audience viewpoints, background, mindset, education level, etc. Make an attempt to emphasize your audience, their requirements, emotions, as well as problems. Ensure that the self-respect of the audience is maintained and the emotions are not at harm. Modify your words and message to suit the audience need while making your message complete. Now, features of considerate communication are as follows. Emphasize on you approach. Empathize with the audience and exhibit interest in the audience. This will stimulate a positive reaction from the audience. Show optimism towards your audience. Emphasize on what is possible rather than what is impossible. Lay stress on positive words such as jovial, committed, thanks, warm, healthy, help, etc. Consideration means understanding of human nature. Now, this is a bad example of consideration. Thanks for submitting the industry report, dear Sam. Finn will give you some feedback on it. Finn also wanted to find out if you will be available for the client meeting tomorrow. We will be discussing the budget for the next phase of the project. Regards, Shille. So again here, obviously the reader here wants the feedback about, or you can say the feedback about the report which Sam has submitted. But if you actually club the other, other ideas also with this idea, then he will or she will get confused, and obviously this is not the right thing to do, because obviously the person is interested in the feedback and you are actually interested in some other thing, which is again incomplete too here. So the email was supposed to be about the industry report which is submitted for feedback, and the question about the meeting had come out of nowhere and will now distract Sam and his priorities. So dear Sam, thanks for submitting the industry report. Finn will give you some feedback on it. You will be receiving an email from him with detailed comments. Regards, Shille. So the solution is that email, now the previous email which I just read, this email talks only about the report. Sam knows that her report has been viewed and she needs to wait for feedback. There are no other distractions, and the query about the meeting must have been an entirely different email. Now, courtesy. So obviously courtesy is an important principle to sustain and build good business relationships. So if we talk about courtesy, courtesy means only thinking about the receiver, or you can say viewpoints, only thinking about his feelings, but also think about his emotions and feelings as well. So how can you bring courtesy in your message? Obviously by using soft and polite gestures, being thoughtful, tactful, and showing respect to the receiver. So you should not use gender specific language in your message and use proper titles. Obviously you need to be friendly, honest, and open in your message. Then only you can bring positive or you can say focused, you can bring positivity in your message. And so courtesy means that you need to be polite. So you need to use some polite expressions. So being polite means that you must be able to answer the questions like, have you used positive or you can say pleasant tone words in your message? Have you used I appreciate, kindly, thank you so much, or somewhere in your message such kind of words? Or would you like to enjoy listening and reading your own message which you have drafted, right? So if you find all these things, so it means you need to show respect for the reader in your message. Think about his feelings, think about his emotions, use polite gestures, use soft, pleasant words in your message, and the expressions which I have just told you. So courtesy means politeness. It is an attitude that shows respect for others. Courteous communication is friendly, open, and honest. So example, it is not enough to use polite expressions like thank you, kindly, we appreciate, please, etc. But the whole letter must have a courteous tone. So courtesy in message implies the message should show the reader's, sender's expression as well as should respect the receiver. The sender of the message should be sincerely polite, judicious, reflective, and enthusiastic. Courteous message has the following features. Courtesy implies taking into consideration both viewpoints as well as feelings of the receiver of the message. Courteous message is positive and focused at the audience. It makes use of terms showing respect for the receiver of the message. It is not at all biased. So courtesy strengthens relations. This is an example. Jeff, I wanted to let you know that I don't appreciate how your team always monopolizes the discussion at our weekly meetings. I have a lot of projects and I really need time to get my team's progress discussed as well. So far, thanks to your department, I have not been able to do that. Can you make sure that they make time for me and my team next week? Thanks, Phil. So again, this hardly courteous, because message like this can potentially start office-wide fights. This email does nothing but create bad feelings, which can lower productivity and morale. A little bit of courtesy, even in difficult situations, can go a long way. So this is a good example of courtesy. I wanted to write you a quick note to ask for a favor. During our weekly meetings, your team does an excellent job of highlighting their progress, but this uses some of the time available for my team to highlight theirs. I would really appreciate it if you could give my team a little extra time each week to fully cover their progress reports. Thanks so much, and please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Warm regards, Phil. So this is now shows courtesy, because you are actually appreciating the good work of the other team and asking, and or you can say requesting for some extra time, so that your team can also discuss some, their progress in the meeting. So the email is courteous and friendly. It has little chance of spreading bad feelings around the office. Now, correctness. So if we talk about correctness, so you should ensure that you have given all the facts and figures. Make sure that you have just checked them, and you also have you have given correct. You have used correct grammar, correct spelling, and punctuation and all formats in your message. So being correct means that you being able to answer the questions that have you used the correct language, proper grammar, punctuation, proper spelling, have you correctly spelled the name of the reader and his position or her position. So when you are if you want to make your message free of errors, then obviously try to use a dictionary or keep a dictionary at your desk. And please use spell checker if you are conveying a message through computer, right? So you need to keep all these things ready, and always check your facts that they are correct or not. So correctness is very important feature which you need to make sure that you have gained correct. So have you checked the correctness of all facts, and have you confirmed all facts and figures? That is very necessary. So at the core of correctness is proper grammar, punctuation, and spelling. Message must be perfect grammatically and mechanically. Facts and proofreading. So correctness in communication implies that there are no grammatical errors in communication. Correct communication has following features. The message is exact, correct, and well timed. If the communication is correct, it boosts up the confidence level. Correct message has greater impact on the audience or readers. It checks for the precision and accurateness of facts and figures used in the message. It makes use of appropriate and correct language in the message. Concise message is non-repetitive in nature. Correctness in message helps in building confidence. So this is a bad example of correctness. Thanks so much for meeting me at lunch today. I enjoyed our conservation, and I'm looking forward to moving ahead on our project. I show that the 2-week deadline wouldn't be an issue. Thanks again, and I will speak to you soon. Best, Jack Miller. So if you see what is the problem, that first error is that the writer accidentally typed conservation instead of conversation. Common error can happen when you are typing too fast. And the other error is using week instead of week. The other error is using conservation instead of, so I have already told you. So awareness of these 7 C's of communication makes you an effective communicator. So you need to follow all these 7 principles if you really want to draft your message free of errors. And it should be complete. It should be concise. It should be concrete. Concrete means that all the facts should be very specific. So please take care of all these, and courtesy, which is very important, to build good relationship and have a positive environment at the workplace. So you need to follow all these 7 principles. So that's all for today. Thank you, audience, for listening me patiently, and see you soon in the next video. Thank you.